Okay, so we have to follow, we should not imitate. That this is a very high advanced stage. So Prabhupada in Gita Samiti, if somebody question, you are criticizing so many sadhus, so many babas, you should be you should be equal to everyone. So Prabhupada said, we have to distinguish between people means on the basis of knowledge. Right? Who is a proper sadhu, who is a proper person. If you just say that see everyone equally, but they are not at that stage. ठीक है, अभी कुत्ते को बिल्ली को सबको बराबर देख लिया. So how can you make a dog and cat advance? Isn't it? You may see because of your elevated stage, but can you help those people? No. So Prabhupada said that my helping is I give knowledge to everyone, and so therefore I have to make distinction. He is a karmi, he is a jnani, he is a new bhakta, he is a sincere bhakta. So you have to make distinction actually. So therefore this is a very high platform. So one should not imitate, seeing everyone equally. One should see everyone on the basis of knowledge. Okay, and then how to apply that? So Prabhupada says, you may see that lion also has a soul in the body, but don't go and embrace lion because he will eat you. So therefore, so he mentions that in practice you cannot apply that. There is one person in South India. So he made a very famous YouTube video that long back. That he said, I don't see any distinction between rickshawala, coolie, ya bhikhari. I consider everyone equal. And he was born in Brahmin family in South India, Orthodox, just imagine. So he was very much frustrated from his family. So then he said, I will do good work for everyone. So then he used to go and do barber work for rickshaw chalane wala, tempo chalana. He was saying ki if I take his blood and my blood, what is the difference in the blood? And then why are you making distinction that he is a lower class person, you are higher class? There is no lower and higher. You just have to embrace the person and then we equal. And he was born in Brahman family. So he made a YouTube video like that. So see, this is ignorance actually. If you take such knowledge and say that Bhagavad Gita says that see everyone equal and then try to apply, then you are becoming basically outcast. You will be outcast, thrown out from the Varnashram system. Because if a Brahmana does like such activity, then he is thrown out. He will not be considered Brahmana. Kiva Vipra Kiva Nyasa Sudra Keno Nai. See, that is Kiva Vipra Kiva Nyasa Sudra Keno Nai, Jai Krishna Tattvaveta Say Guru Hai. And Krishna also said, Yehi, what is that shloka? Mami Path Vipasitya, Yevsya Api Papi Yoneha, Istriya Vaishya Tatha Sudra, Tepi Yanti Paramgati. Anybody can take shelter of the Lord. So Lord को worship करने के लिए कोई वो नहीं है. There is no restriction for going in front of the Lord, worshipping Him. Lord is considering everyone equal because they are children of Lord. Lord can never be polluted. But when Brahmana goes to some barber and then he started, उसने नहाया भी नहीं है, उसको बोले मेरा भाई है, गले लगाया. Now उसको गले लगाया, but then he cannot worship the Lord because he become अपवित्र. So in this world also you find पंचरात्रिक विधि, इतना सारा purification. एक भगवान को worship करो, दोबारा purify, दोबारा worship, दोबारा purify. What is this? Whom you are worshipping? Supreme Lord. And still you are getting impure. How can be impure? So many rules in the world. It means what? Lord at certain, He is allowing us to do worship. But then He is also putting rules. तुम ऐसे करना, तुम ऐसे करना. Like Prabhupada said, everyone can become devotee. No need to follow four regulatory principle, no need to follow Solomala. जो करना है करो. All are equal. He cannot do that. He has to give some rules, regulations. So that's why we spiritually Prabhupada say you are all equal. But when we have material tendencies, we have a distinction on the bodily platform, on nation platform, on our conceptions. So therefore we need rules, regulations. That's why Prabhupada also says that you cannot be classless society unless you come to the level of soul. जब तक हम बॉडली प्लेटफॉर्म में रहेंगे तो फिर क्लासेस होगा, ये तुम इस क्लास में, तुम ब्राह्मण, तुम क्षत्रिय, वैश्य, शूद्र, ऐसा. It has to be there actually. Otherwise there will be chaos because people will work according to their varna only. But then I say that we are devotees. They have to be also classified. Prabhupada said that actually. But yes, classification is not exactly like the previous varnashrama. Like you are only brahmana. You cannot do work of Vaishnava. ऐसा नहीं है. We are Vaishnava and we will do work of Brahmana. We are Vaishnava, we will do work of Vaishya. We are Vaishnava, we will do work of Sudra. So we are not attached to our Varna. We are just doing because this is my Sabha, I will do it, but I am Vaishnava. Previously it was other way around. You cannot become Vaishnava unless you go to that stage. No, ऐसा नहीं. Prabhupada did not wanted that. So we set examples as well as also we follow for ourselves what is conducive. Anukulas sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam. So like that. So correct na? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Kiva Vipra Kiva Nyasa Sutra Kenanaya He Krishna Tattvaveta. So anybody can know about Krishna. It does not require to become Brahmana. But can you know about Krishna if you don't have consciousness of a Brahmana or beyond Brahmana? You cannot know that. Because we also know that you can only know about Krishna when you are beyond bodily platform. So कैसे जाएगा? जब तक वो सतगुण में आके फिर ऊपर जाना है ना उसको. So he may be born in some family, but he has to be beyond the family kull. He has to be beyond the bodily conception. Then only he can know about Krishna. Krishna Tattva is not so easy. Krishna Tattva to understand. Okay, we are beginning to understand. But when we can understand, tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayasche चेत एतर अनाविद्यम स्तम सत्वे प्रसिद्धति. फिर उसके आगे श्लोक आता है एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवद भक्ति योगतः भगवत तत्व विज्ञानम मुक्त संगस्य जायते. वो भगवत तत्व विज्ञानम he understands when beyond nishtha. Then he comes to know about bhagavad tattva vijnanam. Really he understands. So Krishna tattva veta is not only academic, it's a in practice, it's in understanding, it's in consciousness, Krishna consciousness. It's like that.
But we're talking about the person who's still in the modes.
Who? This? No, this is beyond modes.
No, not this, but the series that we're going right now.
Ha. Yes. So, yes, when somebody is practicing Krishna consciousness under the modes, he has identification in this world. So then, he has to make distinction. He has to make distinction. Whom we have to associate. See, on Raganuga platform, there is no rules only in one sense. Means DT का कुछ rule नहीं है. Like here we are following Panchatrika Vidhi. This is only for Vaidhi Bhaktas. For Raganuga कुछ नहीं है rule. So they are beyond actually. When you go beyond, then the rules does not matter because Lord does not ask for the rule. Because he is understanding, the person who is worshipping, he understands me clearly. Then why the rule is required? But when rule is required, when we don't understand it, we understand with our material conception. वो रहता है तो फिर भगवान बोलते नियम पालन करो, ये करो, वो करो, ये करो, like that. So that's why we should not imitate such stages, which is what we are discussing here. We have to wait for such stage to come. First we have to come to Brahma Bhuta stage. This is only the Brahma Bhuta. Okay, वो Brahma Bhut मतलब ना सोचती ना कामशति. Then this stage is going to come विद्या विनय संपन्न ब्राह्मणे को विहस्तनी. सभी को बराबर देख रहा है, सभी के अंदर आत्मा देख रहा है. Yeah, this is there. Okay, go ahead. इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्राह्मणि ते स्थिताः. Yes, Mataji.
Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman.
Yes. Yes, you can read.
Equanimity of mind, as mentioned above, is a sign of self-realization. Those who have actually attained to such a stage should be considered to have conquered material conditions, specifically birth and death. As long as one identifies with his body, he is considered a conditioned soul. But as soon as he is elevated to the stage of equanimity through realization of self, he is liberated from conditional life. In other words, he is no longer subject to take birth in the material world, but can enter into the spiritual sky after this his death. The Lord is flawless because he is without attraction or hatred. Similarly, when a living entity is without attraction or hatred, he also becomes flawless and eligible to enter into the spiritual sky. Such persons are to be considered already liberated and their symptoms are described below.
Correct. So we saw what is mentioned here. Equanimity of mind. In second chapter we find what is said? Yoga. Yoga means equanimity of mind. Krishna mentions na that Jaya Ajaya, Sukha Dukha, sab saman. When you are able to see everything saman, then you have come to the perfection of yoga. And that perfection is mentioned here. His mind is in equanimity. Not in beginning days, Vidya works to distinguish between things. ये सही है गलत है, ये सही है गलत है. When you come to this Brahman realization, then this Vidya is also useless. It is not required. Now you should not start identifying ये वो है ये वो नहीं ऐसा नहीं. Then you have to now focus on spirituality. So this Vidya was first given to from Avidya. What is Avidya? I am this body. So Vidya is there to distinguish between ignorance and knowledge. Okay? And when you come to this stage of Brahma Bhuta when you have come, so then you have to give up this Vidya also. I am talking about this Gyan Marg wala, ये जो चल रहा है, ठीक है? Bhakti Vidya you should not give up. Bhakti Vidya is always complete. Your Krishna part and parcel. But this Vidya basically is Gyan Vidya. So you have to give up that also. And then you have to take to the Bhakti knowledge. Therefore Krishna says, Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma na sochati na काम करते समस्त सर्वेषु भुक्तेषु मद भक्ति लभते परम. वो मेरे भक्ति को पाता है. पहले क्यों नहीं पा रहा था? क्योंकि उसको पहले वो उसको निकलने की कोशिश कर रहा है ignorance से. First is working to come out of ignorance. But Prabhupada will like purport in Krishna consciousness only. Understanding? But here Krishna is talking about, he is focusing on that I am not this body. I am the spirit soul. And in this knowledge is focusing and is getting free from the attachments. And then when he comes here, then he forgets that also and then he comes to the level of bhakti. He starts focusing on the supreme and then he is not worried about the sat asat, not much worried because he has gone beyond that. Like that. So the Prabhupada says he becomes flawless. There is no attraction or hatred. Kuch nahi hai. This is going to come in 6th chapter when a yogi sees stone and gold on the similar level. Yam labdhva chaparam labham mannate nadikam tatha yasmin na vichalayet puran api vichar. So itna bigger and biggest whatever problem may come in your life, you will not become disturbed in your life. So that stage will come because you will see everything equal, saman. So this is what mentioned here. Okay, next. This is that. Na prahasyet priyam prapyam no dvije prapya cha priyam stira buddhir asamudho brahmani stitah.
A person who is neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the science of God, is already situated in transcendence.
Yes. So Yes. So this is that. न प्रहृष्येत प्रियम प्राप्यम, मतलब बहुत खुश नहीं होता है. When he gets a very good priyam, desirable things in his life, he does not become very elated. No. No dvijet aprapya chapriyam. And he does not envy when he gets something apriyam, undesirable. स्थिर बुद्धिर असम्मूढ़ो, उसकी बुद्धि क्या हो जाती है? स्थिर हो जाती है. Unbewildered intelligence. ब्रह्मविद ब्रह्मणि स्थितः, and he understands the supreme. तो जो भगवान को समझता है यहाँ पे आया. And now here it comes, who knows the science of God. Understand? So here the science of God is revealed. At that stage, you are not at all affected by happiness and distress. So, what we heard the story, you have to come to that stage. Still, that person is still trying to do work in the world. He is trying to find out something, Goda, Godi. So, he has faith on the Lord. But this stage is beyond that also, what we heard the story. Because this is, he is unbewildered. कुछ नहीं उसको मन में. He just knows the signs of the Lord, and he is not becoming happy, not becoming sorrowful also. The symptom of self-realized persons are given here. The first symptom is that he is not illusioned by the false identification of body. This is the first symptom. He knows perfectly well that he is not his body, fragmental part of Supreme Lord. He is therefore not joyful in achieving something, nor does he lament in losing anything which is related to the body. This steadiness of mind is called sthira buddhi or self-intelligence. He is therefore never bewildered by mistaking gross body of the soul for the soul, nor does he accept the body as permanent and disregard the existence of soul. Okay? So both the things. He does not think that he is a gross body, and he also does not think that his body is permanent. This knowledge elevates him to the station of knowing the complete science of absolute truth, namely Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. He thus knows his constitutional position perfectly well without falsely trying to become one with the Supreme in all respects. This is called Krishna consciousness, Brahman realization. Okay. Such a person is equal in face of objects both dear and not dear in this world. Attaining the dear objects, he does not rejoice, and attaining unwelcoming objects, he does not become disturbed. The potential mood of prahrishyeta and udvijet stands for the indicative present in the verse, or can mean the person should practice the mood during the stage of sadhana. Attaining dear objects, he should not rejoice, and attaining unwelcome objects, he should not become disturbed. He is not bewildered, asammudho, since bewilderment arises only from the identification with joy, lamentation and other emotions. Now there can be one understanding, okay, I should not get more happy, I should not get more any distress. Then how we all are not following or following? Are we following this? हम follow करते हैं क्या? करते हैं? नहीं करते. What is our understanding in Krishna consciousness? If anything goes wrong, do we have to become sorrowful, lamenting, or do we have to leave it? What is our understanding? Means if in Krishna consciousness anything goes wrong, we are sadhaka. So then do we become morose, do we become lamenting, or we just give it away? छोड़ो जाने दो, हो गया. What is that?
We can lament to that we can take it that this is
Mike. This is Krishna.
This Krishna's plan for us.
Example है. I will give example. You are given seva of cooking. Now the many GBCs are coming and you have to cook. कुछ जल गया, कुछ खराब हो रहा है. So what do you do? It's Krishna's plan.
Try again.
We'll try again. Correct? But you just understand that there is no time now. And you have made the item and it is gone to person and they are tasting Hare kuch to garbad hai isme. That time what you will feel? You will lament or not? You will lament. Correct? Lament, na? Okay. And if some Gurudev says, oh, who has made this item? Oh, this Mataji has made. Okay, come, have a blessing. So will you be happy or not? Happy. So हम follow नहीं कर रहे. So actually, this is correct. This person is not interacting with anyone. He is simply himself satisfied. You should understand. We are doing devotional service. Okay, we are not becoming ज्ञानी. कि ज़्यादा आया तो कुछ नहीं होना है और खराब हो गया तो बिल्कुल कुछ भी नहीं होना है. No, we should not forget our duty. Even though we may do wrong, we will serve Krishna. We will do right, we become happy, we still serve Krishna. But we should always keep in mind, yes, I should not become attracted to the material results. We should be keeping this in our mind. But Arjuna also has to fight and he has to win the war. Correct? He may win or not, that is Krishna's decision. But he is fighting for winning the war. Correct? So we should understand, in devotional service, you are working for the pleasure of somebody. Who is that? Krishna or Guru. So if he is not pleased, and you must say, Gurudev, you should also have no distinction only. What is happiness, what is distress? You cannot say to him. He will say, like he was saying, who? Ramchandra Khan. Or Ramchandra Puri. He was saying to Madhavan Puri, Gurudev, you are lamenting. Why? Focus on Brahman. Why you are lamenting? When you are at time of death, you are lamenting. Hey Dwarkanath, hey Mathuranath, when I will be able to achieve you? He was lamenting and it was the highest ecstasy. And he was thinking he should focus on Brahman. This. Na udvejeta, na prihare, what is it? Harsheta. What is the word used? Prahishyeta. So na prahishyeta, na dvijeta. ज़्यादा उत्तेजित नहीं होना है और ज़्यादा खुश नहीं होना है. You just focus on that. No, it's not. It's not for devotees. Devotees, they show the exchange of emotions, but they also understand that okay, whether this is material emotion or spiritual emotion. So spiritual emotion is for when we are having Krishna in center, when we are having Guru in center, and that emotion is to please him. Emotion, again, it should not become too much sentimental. Like Gurudev saying, okay, no problem, next time you can try. No Gurudev, I am tougher, I am like this, I am like that. And next time you try, no Gurudev, no Gurudev. So this is like too much sentimental. ऐसा भी नहीं होना है. And too much happy also should not be. So it means for devotee, they utilize their conditionings also, even their condition. Or they utilize their real emotion also in service of the Lord. When Lord Ram is weeping for Mother Sita, so he is showing his spiritual emotion. If you put this sloka in Ramayana, then to Bhagwan bhi fail ho rahe hain. Lord is only getting defeated with this context. Correct? So we should understand that this is a stage for basically Jnani, it is said. And the Jnana is going to achieve now Paramatma, he is going to see. So he is overcoming his bodily consciousness and coming to the Brahman stage, Saman. But when he focuses on spiritual life, then there are also people, there will be spiritual emotion, correct? And with us, what is happening? We are having devotees and we have spiritual concepts, spiritual consciousness, and we are having material body and material conditioning. So we are trying to learn the spirituality, correct? So sometimes our material emotions will be there with the devotees and material expectations will be there. But then through knowledge we understand, oh, we should not do that, we should purify our emotion, we should better be devotee, correct? But it does not mean to say that give up your emotion. We never say like that. Because if you give up your emotion, you can never become devotee. Correct, na? You can never become devotee. Soul is dead. He is not dead. He is not a stone. So Prabhupada himself says he is not dead, he is not a stone. So here it is said he is not getting affected by material emotions, material things, anything. Huh? But for devotees, nothing is material. We are passing that phase where we are engaging everything in Krishna service. We cannot say that this thing is material. No, that is not material. We are engaging in Krishna seva, and that's why it is becoming spiritual. So for us, it's not like ज्ञानी कि हम जब यहाँ तक आएंगे तभी हम भक्ति प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, नहीं, हम शुरू से कर रहे हैं भक्ति, शुरू से कर रहे हैं. So we have to understand कि we cannot be totally silent or totally passionate in material life. No, we have to understand, we have to engage everything in Krishna seva, and whatever required, our emotions sometimes in management, sometimes like Prabhupada also, sometimes we have to be chastised, so chastisement is also done in anger. Again, it has to be understood that that should not have material component, it should have more and more spiritual component. Spiritual component means seeing Krishna, Guru in center. That is a spiritual component all the time. Means whatever we are doing, let us keep more and more Krishna's pleasure, Guru's mission, Guru's mood in the center. That has to be there. So this person is also doing the same thing. Means he is not keeping himself in center or his emotion, but he is trying to please Guru. And his chastisement, like Rupa Goswami chastised Jiva Goswami. Like, you are so proud, go away from Vrindavan. Correct? So Rupa Goswami chastisement is like the Guru is chastising him. So we cannot say that how the Guru become affected by this. It should be equal. It's not like that. Rupa Goswami is getting affected. So bhakti is a transcendental relationship. It's not like jnanis, which we are learning here. He is becoming free from all material emotions. Okay. Bahye sparshveshu asaktatma Vindate atmani yat sukham sa brahma yoga yuktatma sukham asakyam ashnute.
Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme.
He is not attracted to material sense pleasure, always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. So there is the pleasure within is there. Like we are trying to find pleasure in the sense object, because why? We have forgotten ourselves and we are conscious of body, and we know that body conscious means the body has senses and there are sense objects. So therefore the desire is holding the sense object and senses. Okay, by this we will enjoy. But when you become conscious of yourself, you will understand actually these things cannot give me permanent enjoyment. They are only giving temporary, kshanik sukha. And then the internal happiness is ananta sukha. That is ananta sukha. Means even little also, this much also is ananta sukha. It will never end. And here the biggest happiness also will end. Adi antavanta kaunteya. Adi hai, ant hai. Even biggest of happiness will also end. But the spiritual का थोड़ा भी happiness वो अनंत है. लेकिन वो अनंत जब एक्सपीरियंस कब करेगा, वो अविद्या से मुक्त होना चाहिए. So the condition for experiencing that ananta sukh is that one has to free from avidya. Until then, like you will only get some abhas of it. Like sun is here, but are you experiencing the real sun? No. You are simply experiencing some abhas because you are covered by this building. Correct? In a similar way, the soul's happiness is there. Soul is person. But he has not realized because it is covered by avidya. So when avidya is there, the very little abhas is there. Abhas. And that abhas also becomes covered over in the sense he becomes too much attracted to outside thing. So first he has to withdraw himself to inside. Okay, I don't want outside pleasure. That is tapasya. And then he has to focus on inside. And when his inside focusing starts happening, then avidya has to go away. And then he can realize himself. Avidya ko nikalna padega. Otherwise he cannot. So therefore avidya has to go away. So that's why Krishna is all the time mentioning he has to understand who's a doer, who's an enjoyer, this, that, all knowledge we are learning here. Avidya has to go away. Otherwise he cannot enjoy the ananta sukh, unlimited happiness. So Prabhupada mentions that here, Yamunacharya. So yes. Yamunacharya was beyond all such sex pleasure, and because he was enjoying Mama Cheta Krishna Padarabinde, his chitta, consciousness was fixed in Krishna's lotus feet. And then he was enjoying Naunav Ras Dhamanya Udyantu Rantumasi. New rasa. Spiritual world, spiritual happiness has another characteristics, that is that it will always be new rasa, नया. तो पुराना तो रहेगा ही आपके पास, उसको नया और मिलेगा, है ना. जैसे मोबाइल अगर अपग्रेड होता है तो क्या होता है, पुराना भी कुछ रहता है फंक्शन और नया मिलता है. So like that, but in material world it is said the happiness whatever is there that will also degrade and that will finish. But spiritual life में इसका नया आएगा, new, more. Like Krishna is beautiful, X amount, then X plus X, then X plus 2X, X plus 3X, X plus 5. Like that Krishna will be increasing. But X will remain, and then 2X will also remain, and then 3X will also remain. Like that it will be. No rastham. It does not decrease, no. And that's why he is not attracted to any material pleasure. A person in Brahma Yoga or the Krishna consciousness is so absorbed in loving service to the Lord that he loses his taste for material sense pleasure altogether. His pleasure in terms of matter is sex pleasure. The highest pleasure in terms of matter is sex pleasure. The whole world is moving under its spell, and materialist cannot work at all without this motivation. But a person engaged in Krishna consciousness can work with great vigor without sex pleasure, which he avoids. That is the test in spiritual realization. Spiritual realization and sex pleasure go in together. This is what यही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एवते आद्यन्तमन्त कौन्तेय तेषु रमते बुधा.
An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them.
So, what is the quality of a wise man? He sees any material pleasure has beginning and end, and that material pleasure is a cause of suffering also. Two things he sees. It has beginning and end, and it also cause of material suffering. Sooner or later that will become cause of material suffering as well. Any material pleasure. That's why Prahlad Maharaj says that you make a solution for any problem and that solution becomes a bigger problem. Why? Because nature of this world is like that. Nature of the world is material problem cannot be solved by material solution. It can be solved to relative way, but not exactly. That's why the shloka comes. पराभवस्तावदबोधजातो यावन्न जिज्ञासात्मतत्त्वं यावत् क्रियस्तावदिदं मनोवय कर्मात्मकं येन शरीरबन्धः. So he says, Rishabdev says that you can never solve any problem of this world, or you will always be defeated until you have Atma Tattva knowledge. Why? Because one fruitive activity you do, and then to resolve that fruitive activity problem, you do another fruitive activity. So this fruitive activity is simply entangling you more and more. You may think that it's solving a problem, but no, it is entangling you more and more. And that's why you suffer. See, our suffering is not that कोई पकड़ के आपके सर पे मार रहा है. Our suffering is attachment. Our suffering is attachment. And how we become attached? Because we do activity with a desire to enjoy. And that's why we become attached. And when you become to attached to anything you become attached to. थोड़ा भी ऊपर उसमें ऊपर नीचे हुआ क्योंकि मटेरियल नेचर में हर एक चीज ऊपर नीचे होने वाला है, तो यू बिकम डिस्ट्रेस. So that is the thing. So when one understands ये दुख का योनि है, ये दुख होगा इससे, पहले ही समझ लो. Like today I was discussing with one devotee, we want a speaker. So for Harinam and for lecture, so I said, give me that speaker which was for 10 years. Tell me the price. So he said, Prabhu, I don't think there can be any speaker without any problem. So then he said, there are two things. One is your karma. In that involved is your karma, and how you take care of a speaker. So मैंने बोला कि अरे if I purchase a laptop, at least I understand it will go for 6-7 years without problem. Then why you are not giving me a speaker which can be free from any problem till 6-7 years? Then no, that I cannot give. 6 years means your karma is also there inside that speaker. तो मेरे को याद आया श्लोक दुख योना ये बते. दिस इज रियलिटी. सेम कंपनी का 2 लैपटॉप खरीदेंगे, एक के जीवन में हरिबोल करेगा, दूसरे का जीवन रियलिटी. इन आवर BBL में परचेज लैपटॉप डेल का, आफ्टर सम डेज बुक उड़ गया, वो उसका मदरबोर्ड ही चला गया. सो इट इज वेरी यूनिक थिंग इन दिस वर्ल्ड. सो दुख योना, अब कब दुख आएगा वो परमात्मा भेजेंगे. इट मीन्स यू डोंट थिंक दैट द ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड आर नॉट इन कंट्रोल ऑफ माई कर्मा और नॉट इन कंट्रोल ऑफ परमात्मा. ऐसा नहीं है. वी कैन मेक अ परफेक्ट फ्री फ्रॉम मिजरी. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा. सो दिस इज द थिंग एक्चुअली. Every object will have some dukkha yona I mentioned. And how the sukha is coming? Some sparsha. Senses are coming in contact with sense object, so sukha is coming. And so that sense object, like we discussed earlier also, if somebody is wanting to eat lot of rasgulla, if you give him 10 rasgulla, 20 rasgulla, he will become fed up after some time. Yes, same sense object cannot be enjoyed for longer because he will understand I have limit. उससे ज़्यादा नहीं, अब नहीं, I cannot enjoy more. But when it comes to spiritual life, Prabhupada says many times, chanting 24 hours you can do, and that is correct. अभी हम कर नहीं पा रहे वो अलग बात है, but it is not reactionary. It is not going to give you some reaction कि now after 24 hours अभी एक भी माला मतलब राम का नाम निकलेगा ही नहीं मुंह से, ऐसा नहीं है. It's not like that. So, but here it's a dukkha. After some time it becomes intolerable. बस बहुत हो गया. So because it's a material, so we should understand the nature of enjoyment in this material world. So ramante yogino anante satyanande chidatmani iti rama padas padenaso para brahma vidhiyate. So this is the happiness of yogi, which is ananta happiness. Ramante yogino anante. Okay, you don't want the happiness of adi ant happiness नहीं चाहिए, दुख योनि happiness नहीं चाहिए, so then you should go to ananta happiness, which is mentioned here. Anante satyanande chidatmani iti rama padena. So basically they are focusing on the holy name of the Lord and they are deriving pleasure in that holy name. Same cheez. Here we are deriving pleasure from sense object. There we are deriving pleasure from holy name, from service of the Lord, from pleasure of the Lord. So like that actually. So his name, form, gun, naam, rup, gun, lila, we are trying to enjoy. So here it's given Nayam Deva Deva Bhajane Loke. So here the word comes Brahma Sakhyam, to Anantam. So human life is not meant for vidbhujam. Kashtan kaman arhate vidbhujam. What is that? See, there is a story. चमार पता है? चमार स्किन के जो बिजनेस करते हैं, चमार बोलते हैं उसको. So there was one skin dweller. So generally these are very low class people. So because every time they have to bring some skin and they have to make some जूता बनाना है या कपड़े बनाने हैं, पर्स बनाने हैं. So there was one skin dweller and there was another person who was a diamond merchant. And these both people used to live together in village. But at one point of time they had a fight. In their family they had a fight and then they had a very severe fight and then they separated. Then this person went and he became a diamond merchant and this person became a skin का dweller बना, जो भी है, जूते बनाने वाला. So this person, the diamond merchant, he was a pious man and he used to utilize the money for God's service and he used to also do some charity. Good person, associated with the devotees. And this person was very, you can say, materialist. So already he was a chamar, so he did not have much to earn, but he was very proud. Very, very proud. Then sometimes this person used to come to him and he used to tell, अरे तू भगवान का भी सेवा कर, तो बोलता है तेरे को क्या लगेगा, तू हट यहाँ से, go away, I will do my work. So he said, better you make some mridanga so that it will be used in Lord's service. चमड़े का यूज कर लो. So he said, I will never make mridanga, I will always make जूता. फिर पर्स और जूता बनाऊंगा और तुमको मारूंगा. But he was never having a good business. And this person was having a good business. And he was very proud, never used to listen. One day there was a fire in his shop. जल गया. तो चमड़े में आग लगे तो सब चमड़ा भी जल जाता है, करेक्ट ना? And simultaneously there was a fire here also. So but if you burn diamond, nothing happens because it cannot be burned. So then this person, after whole everything got burnt, he was very much morose. मेरा पूरा बिजनेस खत्म हो गया, कैसे हो गया, ये क्या भगवान ने क्या कर दिया, क्या नहीं कर दिया. And this person, he thought, ठीक है बाहर का जला लेकिन मेरा डायमंड अभी भी सेफ है, सब कुछ सेफ है. So he again recovered himself nicely, but this person was finished totally. So this story says that one who is doing the business of merchant, business of a diamond, he is a person who is working on soul, आत्मा पे काम कर रहे हैं. Therefore, या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागृति संयमे. So there are two kind of intelligent person. One is introspective sage who is working. One is working for Atma. One is working for material life. He is also intelligent. So now the diamond merchant, he is pious man, getting money, utilizing it for God's service, charity, everything. And even though the problem of burning also came, his property was not burned. What is that shloka? Atma का कौन सा श्लोक है? नैनम छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि, नैनम दहति पावक. उसको पता है. So, but here you just see, here the fire came burnt. So bodily pleasure, एक तो गरीब है वो, चमार है, उसके ऊपर भी प्राइड है उसको, उसके ऊपर भी भगवान की सेवा के लिए मृदंग बनाओ, वो नहीं बनाएगा. और क्या है, एंड जल भी गया. तो these are the condition of the materialist people. They are always suffering. Neither they have wealth, and that wealth will be burnt away. One day finished also. But they are very much proud, and they will never serve the God. So that's why it's mentioned here कि these बिड भुजा में कष्टान कामान, बहुत कष्ट करेंगे, लेकिन चमारी रहने वाले हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि all enjoyment is based on body. तो चमारी कहलाएगा. Prabhupada wrote this chamari. Basically, they're trying to enjoy skin only. So that's why Prabhu chamar hai tu. So here mentioned, Kashtan kaman arhate bidbhujami. So one should not become a whore. So here all materialists are considered like a whore because they are working very hard, Kashtan kaman, but they are eating stool. So they are considered a whore. But those who are doing here tapo divyam, divya tapa. So there is a Kashtan kaman, the word, and there is a divya tapa. So divya tapa who does? Not one who early morning in Mumbai local train 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock हिल रहा है गाड़ी में पकड़ के वो कष्टान है, वो कष्टान कामान है. वो दिव्य तप नहीं है. प्रभुपाद से लेक्चर है ना दिव्य तप. तो दिव्य तप वन हु डज, जिसको ब्रह्म सुख चाहिए, अनंत सुख चाहिए, और जिसको कैसा सुख चाहिए, बीड भुजाम का सुख चाहिए, सुअर का सुख चाहिए, वो कष्ट लेगा अपने जीवन में, लाइक चमार की तरह. That's why it's mentioned like that. So yes, we have to become true yogi in our life. So these things are not some adjustment just to make us inspired and spiritual, but it's a reality actually. We'll understand that everybody in this world is simply happy on the skin, simply happy. Nobody is worried about the soul. It's okay. Sarira adya khalu dharma sadhanam. Sarir is a sadhana for a dharma to attain. So like a vehicle you require to go from one place to another. So Sharir is required to do dharma. So at least utilize the Sharir for doing dharma. Not to utilize Sharir for sense enjoyment. That is not allowed here. Okay, somebody wants enjoyment also, then do dharmic enjoyment. But don't become totally materialist. And then give up the concept of dharma and just become head along for material enjoyment. Therefore, those who are true yogis or learned transcendentalists are not attracted by sense pleasure, which are the cause of continuous material existence. ठीक है अभी? Okay, we will read one more sloka. ठीक है, ये पढ़ के फिर हम end देते हैं. शक्नोति हैव यः सौढुं प्राक् शरीर विमोक्षणात् काम क्रोधात् भवं वेगं सयुक्तः स सुखी नरः.
Before giving up this person's present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world.
Before giving up this present body, one is able to tolerate the urges and check the forces of desire and anger. He is well situated. Okay. So it is said, until your one leg is in the spiritual world, don't lose your spiritual life. तब तक कंट्रोल करना. फिर पूछेगा प्रभु जी कब तक कंट्रोल करना पड़ेगा? यहाँ पे लिखा है. क्या लिखा है? He is well situated and have before giving up this material body. भरोसा नहीं है. Before giving material body, one has to be able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the forces of desire and anger. That's why it comes in Rishabdev section. Rishabdev, he did not utilize his mystic yoga to save himself, because at last moment, Rishabdev, what happened? Some fire broke out into jungle, forest, and then Rishabdev did not use his mystic potential to save himself. He just got burnt away. So then Sukadeva Goswami says why he did so, because he understood if I use right now a mystic potency, then I am depending on my mind, because mind likes such things. मेरे को बचाओ और mystic potency use करो. So then he says, because yogi wants to go beyond mind, so that's why he does not depend upon his mystic potency also. If he depends, then I can fly, I can do anything. So then he becomes mental again. That's why he says that he does not leaves his mind uncontrolled till that point also. He burnt away his body, but he did not use his mystic potency. So basically it's mentioned here. Parikshit Maharaj. Correct. So Parikshit Maharaj also, he was cursed and he did not use his strength to recurse or curse back Sringi, because he understood that okay, Krishna is teaching me something and let me do my thing. And whatever is going to happen, let it happen for him. So this is again a very advanced stage. Again it said that here. Before giving up present body, one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the forces of desire and anger. Important shloka. If one wants to make a steady progress on path of self-realization, he must try to control the forces of material senses. They are the forces of thought, forces of anger, forces of mind, forces of stomach, forces of genitals, and forces of tongue. One who is able to control the forces of all these senses and the mind is called Goswami. Such Goswamis live strictly controlled lives and forego altogether the forces of senses. Material desires, when unsatiated, generate anger. Thus mind, eyes, chest become agitated. Therefore, one must practice to control them before one gives up the material body. One who can do this is to be understood self-realized and is thus happy in the state of self-realization. It is the duty of transcendentalists to try strenuously to control desire. See, why this mentioned desire and anger? Desire means raga and dvesha. Desire मतलब राग और द्वेष. इसमें सब कुछ आ जाता है इसके अंदर. ये सब कुछ इसी में आ जाता है राग और द्वेष के अंदर. काम क्रोध लोभ सब आ जाता है उसके अंदर. So basically, correct. One has to become Goswami first and then pure devotee later. Prabhupada mentions one has to become Goswami first, then become pure devotee. Okay, any question? Hare Krishna. We are going to end today's class. Any question? कोई प्रश्न है किसी का? हाँ, क्वेश्चन. इनको, if you want to leave someone, you want to leave, you can leave. Usually, I have now already 12. Yes.
Like the shloka that are starting, the first 17 to 21 actually talks about realization, right? So that we have to be attached to the Lord. Like once we have left our bondage, we have to be attached to the Lord. Now in 22, like we are. So what is the section that really starts after that?
Okay. See, again I said earlier also. पहले क्या बोला? He has become equal. He has come to equanimity. And again they are talking about he should give up the desires and anger. So these things will always come. Even though he is gone above and Krishna will say he is not attracted to anything, and again Krishna will talk that he should give up. So this is a caution. Caution हमेशा देना पड़ता है. भले आप ऊपर पहुंच गए हो, लेकिन फिर भी caution है. These are caution statement. You should not become attracted to anything. Not think that okay, you are gone away. No, until you give up the body, maintain your spiritual life. Yes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So tomorrow we'll continue same time. Hare Krishna.